Rat City, issue number 3 from Image Comics. So, yeah, in the last issue, we had Peter, our main character, as well as Rise, going to the PTS headquarters where they were messing with Rise, injected him with something, basically took some of his limbs, and then they ended up killing him, or at least they ended up mortally wounding him right in front of Peter. And seeing that caused Peter to turn into Cyberpunk Spawn. And that's where this issue starts, where Peter is now Cyberpunk Spawn, and he's getting shot at by the guards, and he basically picks up Rise and rushes out of the building. Yeah, he's just basically just running through the city, trying to find someplace safe. Meanwhile, we have the scientist, Dr. Bose, who was the one operating on Rise, as well as the one who was injecting former soldiers with some kind of weird nanotechnology and running secret experiments on them. He basically tells his men to collect as much blood as he can, run tests on them, especially do like a nanite check. And he finds this phone that belongs to Quinlan. Well, actually, the phone belongs to Rise, but Quinlan is calling Rise. So Dr. Bose now knows that Quinlan is involved in this in some way. Yeah, eventually Peter goes to the cemetery where the rest of their fellow comrades are. So in the first issue, like all their comrades were killed in a mission except for Peter and Rise. So Peter takes Rise to the cemetery where they're all buried, where Rise dies in his arms. And Peter runs away. And we have this moment where we have like Quinlan. He just kind of comes across like a sad sack. He's just crying and weeping and moaning and being really melodramatic and talking about how he wants to self-delete himself. And I'm just thinking, like, was he in a relationship with Rise? Why would Rise's death affect him this much to the point where he wants to self-delete? The dude kind of looks like a twink. He looks very feminine. And then the blue hair with the short on the sides, like that kind of seems to, at least when it comes to modern day comics, that kind of, if you see a character like that, they're usually batting for the same team. Let's just say that. So I'm kind of wondering if that's the case. There is some guilt that's like explained later on near the end of the issue, which I won't spoil. But I don't think that that's the full reason why he's like this sad that Rise is killed. It feels like there's got to be something more going on between the two of them. Not that I care. Like I honestly don't care. I just wish that you would be upfront with it, because this issue kind of tries to portray Quinlan like in this positive light, like this is a good person, and he's just feeling really bad about like what happened, and he wants to self delete. But it's like I don't care if he self delete because I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know why he wants to self delete. Like if you want to show a character that we're supposed to be rooting for wanting to self delete, and we want him to not do that, maybe like show some reasons why. Like, why does he want to do it? Why should we be rooting for this guy? We don't get any of that here. So, yeah, I don't really care about this character at this point in time. I feel like we're kind of skipping things. Like, we should have gotten more information on this character before you put him in this situation. As for Peter, he goes back to his house for some reason. You would think if you were just almost killed by the government, the last thing you would do is go back to where you live, where the government like has your address and all that stuff. Because he gets straight up attacked by government soldiers, and he fights them off, turns into Spawn, and tries to make his escape. And it's just like, yeah, like none of these. I don't know. For some reason, like none of these characters like seem all that intelligent, which is kind of a shame because they were like a lot better in previous issues. It just, I don't know. It seems weird. It seems like this issue is like a step back. That's basically like the entire. There's more. There's like a confrontation between Peter and Quinlan, and then we find out why Quinlan at least feels some guilt about what happened, but still not enough to want to self delete. This issue just feels like a step down when compared to previous issues, which is kind of a shame. Like we got Feral and we got Rat City, both from Image, both series that like I've enjoyed, and this week they both just kind of suck. It's kind of a bummer. I was kind of, because I like both issues. Obviously, I've been enjoying them. I've done reviews for them. You can see how much I enjoyed them. And this was just a step down from what we've seen so far. It's mostly just Peter running around the city while he's being chased, kind of. Like he's chased at first, and then he just runs around the city not being chased, and then he's like free, like he's able to escape his pursuers very very easily, and so he decides to go back home where his pursuers know his address, and then he gets attacked again, and he gets chased again, and then he easily escapes them again. So I'm like, is he gonna go back home again for a third time? This guy is supposed to be an elite soldier. If you were just attacked by the government and the government just killed your best friend, why would you not go on the run, go hide somewhere on the download, get off the grid? Why would you immediately go back home? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then again, Quinlan. Quinlan's trying to help Rise. Then when he's not able to help Rise, he just kind of does like a whiny monologue where he decides he's going to try to self-delete himself. And it's just like, oh, okay. I'm supposed to be rooting for these characters, but like you're not really giving me a reason why. Like Peter was fine in the first two issues. This one, not so much. This one, he just kind of comes across as an idiot. And Quinlan, like you haven't shown me enough of this character about why I should be rooting for him. Not to mention the fact that he's like the narrator for this series, so I know he's not going to be successful in his self-deletion attempt. Unless he does self-delete and then they like upload his brain into like a machine or something. Something like that. Because, yeah, he's narrating this entire series. He's been a narrator since issue number 1. So, we know he's still going to be alive. So, the cliffhanger of him trying to self-delete doesn't work. Because it's like, we know he lives. So, yeah, nothing with this issue like really worked with it for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You tell me if it worked for you, if you've read it. But I thought this kind of sucked, which is a shame. Again, I enjoyed the first two issues. I thought they were pretty good. This one was a huge step backwards. Hopefully the next issue would be a lot better. But yeah, not really feeling Peter. Like he came across as like this badass super soldier in the first issue, and then not so much in the second issue, which is fine. Like, you know, he's not really doing much where he has to show off that he's this great military dude. But then the third issue, he's just making dumb decisions. And then again, Quinlan, a character who, other than narrating the story for us, we don't really know too much about him other than the fact that he's working for Arise and he's working against the PTS. And that's kind of it. So there's not enough there for us to really feel emotionally attached to this character. Yeah, everything this issue is trying to do doesn't stick the landing, in my opinion. So this was a step down. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. I really didn't care for it whatsoever, but hopefully the next issue will be a lot better. So there you go. There's Rat City issue number 3. Kind of sucked, but I hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.